Well, hello, hello, hello. It is Tuesday around lunchtime, and I'm excited to come to you today on Facebook or YouTube and talk to you about something that I believe is so critical right now in the world that we're in and the time that we are in, and something that can be very devastating, and that is complacency. The title of today's talk is Complacency, the Silent Killer. And, I didn't really put what the killer is because for each and every one of us, the killer could be something different. When we become complacent, it could kill our dreams. It could kill the plans and the purposes that are in our lives. It could kill our health. It could kill our relationships because we quit showing up for ourselves and for others. And complacency is one of those things that we get to a place where we become complacent and then things stop moving, or really they start going backwards in our life. So I'm going to just take a few moments and share my thoughts around complacency with you. And maybe this will ring as something for you, or maybe it'll ring as something that, your partner or somebody else is dealing with. But I hope that you'll take some notes to it. And I'm also going to give you some tips on how to get out of the mode of being complacent if that's where you find yourself today. So let's jump in. I want to start with, what is the definition of complacency? And so I'm going to read this to you from Google because that's where I find everything, right? Because that's the truth. No, just kidding. But it is to be pleased, especially with oneself or one's merits, advantages, or situations. And here's the kicker: often without awareness of some potential danger or defect or self-satisfied. The voters, and here's an example: the voters were too complacent to change the government, and that was just kind of the sentence that surrounded that. But so I want to talk to you about this, and I love how it said, without awareness of the potential dangers by not moving forward, right? And so complacency is something that we see a lot of times after, particularly after hardships. And, if we look at the world that we're in today, post-pandemic, we are seeing complacency across the board. As myself, as a Mary Kay sales director, my national sales directors were on a call just the other day, and they talked about how the biggest killer that we're having to business and life in general is the attitude of complacency. And, if we look previous to the pandemic, so before COVID, or some people say BC, if we look there, what we saw going on in the communities, in our market, in the United States, and really all over the world, was this emergence of people that were gathering in large organizations. And people, because of these gatherings and because of the sense of community, they now had come to a place right before the pandemic. They had come to a place where they were like self-actualization. They were becoming who they were supposed to be. And there's this really good book called The You Economy that was given to me, I don't know, probably at the end of 2019. It was written and it was actually edited with Success Magazine. Gosh, the date on this, I don't even see a date on it. But anyway, this was written about 2016, about all of the people that were emerging and different organizations that are listed in here. I mean, there was like a dog organization that did some transportation stuff. There was Airbnb was launched during this time of emergence of the U economy. And that's where people, again, they were collected in these groups because of the connectivity, the courage I think you get when you're surrounded with other like-minded, initiating, driving people. You get this place of safety and security, and you feel like, okay, I can do some hard stuff. I can take myself out on a limb, and I can be a little bit more daring and courageous and step into my calling and my purpose. And then we get hit with the pandemic, right? And if you've ever followed Maslow's hierarchy of needs, of course, you have seen that the basic need that we have, and whenever we are threatened, is safety and security. Like, we've got to make sure that we are okay. And in 2020, when the pandemic hit the United States, of course, it took all these emerging people that they were doing okay, everybody was doing great things, and really put them in a state of, okay, protection, right? Let's make sure that our house is in order. Let's make sure that we're okay. And then, then we had food, and that's the next level is, okay, we're safe and we have food and water. And through the course of the 2.5, 3.5 years, and even now where we're still dealing with coming out of something very challenging, we found ourselves in a place that was the recipe for complacency. And this is what I want to get to. What caused the complacency was not people just being mediocre. We are not mediocre people. We are people that want big things, that were born for a time such as this, where we have access to technology like never before. We have resources. We can reach all the way on the other side of the world and be mentored by somebody like way over there. Like there is no shortage. And there's a reason we were designed to be in this place. But when the pandemic hit and we were hit with like this and then that and then boom, people took a step back and became unintentionally complacent. Like it was not an intention. It was not something that they're like, I am just going to go from being a U economy, amazing person that can conquer the world and create my own business and create my own wealth to I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and just see what happens for a little bit. It wasn't ever intentional from the purpose and the standpoint of the human. It was a situation and the circumstances that caused that, with those hits after hits after hits. And then, of course, we add in all of the distractions. One of the recipes for complacency is also distractions, because we find ourselves, instead of being like super focused on the things that it takes to move the needle, to become, that person of influence, or that amazing record breaking business owner, or whatever it is, that award winning, I don't even know, like person that cures cancer, like all of those things, it takes intense focus, and distractions is one of the things that stills that. So we've got hit after hit with the pandemic. We have distractions. And then, of course, we have the discouragements that have come along with that. And those, my friends, are the things that have caused us to have this ridiculous recipe for almost a world of complacency. But today, one of my favorite scriptures is his mercies are new every day. And to me, what that translates to is we have a new day to learn, to know, and to do better. And, today, with new knowledge and new understanding and a new perspective, possibly on what's been going on, we can say, today's the day I'm going to make the change. Complacency is no longer in my vocabulary. It's no longer going to be part of who I am. I'm going to make the change. So I'm going to give you 3 steps. You ready? 3 steps to turn this around and to allow yourself to come out of the place of complacency. So step number 1, be part of a tribe. Get back to a community. Get back to a community. I think we were, like I said earlier, we were in this place where we were all connected, and maybe you didn't love everybody in your community, but you were connected to people that hopefully pushed you in a direction of growth and of new thinking and of positive energy. And that community piece, when we go back to that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that community that you have creates that sense of belonging, and it gives you, really, when you belong to something, it gives you faith and courage to take a step in the next direction. So find your tribe or your community. Maybe that's a church. In my world with Mary Kay, we build this huge community of, we call them sister beauty consultants, sister sales directors, but we all are this great community that prays with each other, lifts each other up, promotes one another's success, and just loves and hugs on each other. And I wish everybody had that in a form of a business or some sort of, connection point, but you can find it. And that is going to be the number one thing to getting out of complacency, in my opinion, is find a tribe, people that are going to encourage you and lift you up. Number 2, give yourself one goal. When you're coming out of a season of complacency, one of the hardest things that we do, and I think as humans, and especially overachievers, if you were part of this U economy movement, you, my friend, just like me, we are overachievers. We want to conquer the world, right? And one of the hardest things to do is to sit back and pick one thing, right? And say, okay, I'm going to focus on this one area because we want to focus on everything. We're like, I'm done being complacent. I want to change the world and I want to focus on 20 different things. The problem that we run into is we're going from a place of probably inactivity to like mega activity, and you will burn yourself out. But if you pick one, and maybe that one is a health goal, maybe that one is, hello, I'm going to drink water today. And not only am I going to drink one of these Aquafinas or whatever your favorite water of choice is, I'm going to drink like half of my body weight in water. And that is going to be a goal that I stick to and I'm going to have success with. And that's going to be changing my path. That is going to take you to a level of success in your health, right? And it may even provide you some mental clarity and some age fighting benefits and some things like that that'll help you spin the needle into a new direction. So maybe it's water. Maybe it's I'm going to spend some time reading today. You know, I have on my to-do list every day, I have an important to-do list. Yeah, these are the things that I'm doing. And every single day it's read, meditate, pray. That's like the first thing after you heard me the other day, I feed the fish. But, you know, that is important to me. And it becomes something that I track and something that I look forward to every single day. And maybe that's a goal that you can put in. I'm going to spend my first 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes, like whatever your schedule allows for in your day of doing something that prepares your mind. Okay. So it could be water. It could be the mental load that you want to kind of take care of. Or it could be, you know, a business goal, or it could be whatever you want. But my challenge to you is to pick one. So your steps to getting out of complacency, again, number one is find a tribe, find a community, find the people that are going to encourage you and give you a place to belong. Number two, pick one goal and master it. And finally, number three, I want you to track your progress. Oh, it's so hard to track things sometimes because you know you get to look at those numbers. And on my door to my bedroom, I have this big calendar. You know those monthly calendars, and literally, you guys, I'm going to be fully transparent here for a minute. I have walked through that door because it's my bedroom door, right? I have walked through that door every single day since January of 2020. And on that board, it said, lose 40 pounds. It said, earn next free car. It said all these things, but these goals that I had were from January of 2020. Hello. Even though I have been working towards things, my mindset was in complacency mode for the last couple of years. And that just seems completely bizarre to me because I've accomplished so much since then, mentally and physically. But I was looking at the same thing and I was definitely not tracking towards success. And so a couple of weeks ago, I finally erased all of those things that were from January of 2020. And I will report to you that I did earn a car between now and then, and I have lost over 40 pounds. But that should have been like a 6-month goal, not a 3.5-year goal. But anyway, I digress. Tracking your progress will help you look at yourself in the mirror or on your tracker and say, am I doing the things that I need to do to move the needle to get me out of this spot of complacency? Because see, friends, complacency can put you into depression. It can put you into a place where you quit reaching. And it can definitely put you to a place of being unuseful. And that is a tragedy. I can't imagine being in a place, and the Bible refers to it as being lukewarm. Like I have no use to anybody because I chose to be complacent, right? I don't want to look at myself in the mirror, look at my friends, look at people that I know and say that that is the badge that I'm wearing. Hello, my name is Teresa and I'm complacent. I want it to be, hello, my name is Teresa and I am chasing every part of the purpose that God has in store for me. And that, my friend, part of that purpose is you, helping you reach your next level of success, whether it's mental success, physical success, or financial success. So thank you for taking a few moments with me today. And, I think it's so good to just sit back and reflect on, where it is that we're at and how did we get here and how do we get out of it? So I hope that this message speaks to you in some way. If it does, please like and share it. And if you would like to have somebody that you can connect with, maybe to join your tribe or be part of, what you have going on, please send me a message or reach out. I would love to stay connected with you. Till then, have a wonderful day. Thanks for jumping on. Bye.